I continue the story now of the exhumation of Archbishop Alain de Beaumanoux. And with the people, I called it the digging up, much easier than exhumation. This is Mission Alive, you're with Roger from the MSC Mission Office. I told you some of the process towards this exhumation, this stage of the cause of Alain de Beaumanoux towards sainthood. We had to prepare for the event, so we set the date and everything. We gave the invitations to the right people. So there were several things in that. I had to prepare the site since I was the man on the job. Knowing Kabuna to be a wet place, and I think it was probably wet season or something, I thought I have to put a cover over the whole site. So I got some of the young men to go into the bush and they cut some posts, and we put them up and put a big canvas right over the whole site. And there were 3 graves there. There's Alain de Beaumanoux, Mother Teresa Noblet, who was with him, founded the AD Sisters, and Sister Solange, who was the 2nd superior and the niece of Alain de Beaumanoux. So we did that, and then with the people, I had to talk to the people and explain it to them. And I said, we don't need everybody here. I don't want everybody here. I want 6 chiefs. So you chiefs, you decide who is to come to represent the people. Tell the people to stay at home and to pray and to be ready. It was when we finished the exhumation and did what we had to do, we would process to the church. So that was done. Then we invited all the right people. So the bishop, of course, would come, Bishop John Rebat, the superior Dominic, the provincial of the MSCs, I forget who it was at the time, the general superior of the AD Sisters, the Handmaids of the Lord, the OLSH Sisters, and the nuncio came. I think the bishop probably invited the nuncio to come, and there had to be a doctor, so we identified the doctor. Dominic became the scribe. These were all necessary. And then we lined up with the village people too, some of the young men, to actually do the physical work of digging the grave. So that was some of the remote preparation. And then we decided too that all the visitors who were coming would come the afternoon before. We would house them overnight. Early in the morning we would put the generator on, give everybody breakfast, and at first light we would begin the work. And to help that too, we managed to put a light over the site of the grave to help with the work. Wouldn't you know, the afternoon of people coming, it rained and rained and rained. Not a big heavy tropical downpour, but a steady rain. So the road turned to slush. There was water everywhere. People arrived wet, some muddy, dirty, miserable. Anyway, we got them all accommodated and fed them all and went to sleep. Anyway, the next morning, as planned, we put the generator on. We all had breakfast. And I remember over breakfast the nuncio saying, "Who is the defender of the bond?" There was him and the bishop and myself at that little part of the table, and we looked at each other, and I said, "I don't know." And Bishop John looked at me, and he said, "I think you." I said, "Well, okay." So the nuncio said, "All right, that's official that you are the defender of the bond." And so from there we went on to the actual work of digging up the grave, which proceeded. It was, even though we had the shelter, everything was wet, everything turned to mud, and in the end we found very little remains of the bishop. Some small bits of bone, a bit of tassel from a vestment, perhaps some traces of other bone in the soil. We don't know. The doctor said this could be traces of bone. And I said, why is there nothing? And he said, well, he was an old man. He was 83 when he died, so his bones would have been soft. And that part too, there down 6 feet into the ground, was pretty well at water level, groundwater level, because just behind there was a creek running through behind the cemetery. So the coffin would have been pretty well down at groundwater level, and Cabuna is a notoriously wet place. So the coffin, which was probably made of good timber by the brothers, and they said the custom was the coffins were lined on the outside with flat iron. All that was gone, not a trace of it. So the story is taking even longer than I thought, so we will wait for a further session. Thank you for being with us on Mission.